Guys, and welcome to another episode of the Raw Uncovered Truth of the Awakened Soul with Nicole and Christy. And I'm going to pass it on to Christy for her angel message for today.
Hi, everybody. The angel message for today is all about letting go of the past. As we journey through life, it is essential to acknowledge the energy that surrounds us. Often, we carry remnants with us of past and old energies that no longer serve our highest good. To truly thrive in the present and extend into our greatest potential for the future, we need to release these energies. Many of us are affected by wounds from this lifetime and ones before, which can manifest as unresolved emotions, fears, or patterns that hinder our growth. By recognizing and healing these wounds, we can free ourselves from their grip and move forward with greater clarity and strength. Let us take a moment to reflect and consciously clear what's holding us back. Embrace the present moment with an open heart and mind, and allow yourself to move forward with clarity, purpose, and renewed vitality. Don't let the past hold you back. Rise above and create a brighter, more harmonious future. Let's release together by saying this affirmation. I release the weight of the past and fully embrace the present moment, finding peace and growth in each experience. I know this message can resonate with every listener out there. We all get lost in past experiences, and sometimes we find it very hard to stay in the present moment. We only learn to find peace and growth when we learn to let go of our past. Think of it as clearing away the fog that obscures your vision, allowing yourself to see a more clearer path. I'm sure many of you out there are thinking, well, how could I do this, right? Well, one great way to clear not only your present life, but your past and past lifetimes is past life regression, which I think is amazing. I know me and Nicole have touched base on this in past episodes, but today we'd like to dive just a little bit deeper into past life regression, reincarnation, and Nicole's favorite, soul contracts. So the best place I think to start for the whole entire process is past life regression. So what exactly is a past life regression? Well, a past life regression is a therapeutic technique that aims to explore memories of our past lives or incarnations. It operates on the belief that our soul has undergone many lifetimes, and these memories from our past experiences can influence our current life, our behaviors, and our emotions. So the process, it usually involves hypnosis or a deep relaxation state so that us as individuals can access our subconscious mind. And this is where these memories and these thoughts reside from our past life. Or as Greek philosopher Plato said, that this is where we cause ourselves event boundaries. And it's when we compartment different things from our past life in our subconscious mind. And by doing this past life regression or hypnosis is where we're able to access the memories of our past life.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, lots to touch on right there. Let's just start with the angel message, right? Because again, spot on. And that kind of goes with, the reoccurring themes of letting go, releasing, dealing with your trauma, and like moving forward. So yeah, past life regression is a very I was going to say it's kind of a unique way, and and it's kind of not, because like moving forward into 2025 and like how everything is shifting, I think it's going to kind of become like the new norm. The new normal. I like when I said norm, but like the new normal. The new normal thing to do. So, as far as past lives go, some say, we're kind of living all of these lives simultaneously. And others, but yet we still refer to them as past lives. So the whole point of past life regression, or just indulging in your past lives in general, is to, yes, release all these things that you've dealt with. So it could be if you had a horrific death in one lifetime, and now you're scared to use your voice because your voice was your throat was slit. You're scared of being in the water because you drowned, like simple things. I wouldn't say they're simple, but like simple things like that. Addictive personalities, addictive, things just being addictive in general, could also stem from not only, your ancestral, holy crap, DNA, but could also stem from, past lives. Also comes in like all of these karmic things. Let's touch on karmic. Karmic things are contracts, right? That our soul kind of agrees to go through. So if we don't finish those lessons in one lifetime, we can sometimes agree to do them in this lifetime. So we're bringing them over and we're, lapping into and intertwining it into another lifetime in order to learn that lesson and release it. So you have all of that going on, as far as karmic, and obviously we could touch deeper on karmic lessons and karma, as well, but just kind of trying to stick to the release of the past lives and the past situations here. Um, for past life regression, it's also, it touches on interlife sometimes simultaneously as well when you're there. And that's like anything like in this lifetime that you need to release too, that you're having a problem, any trauma, any behavior patterns, any toxic behavior, just any limiting beliefs, anything like to clear out your system. Doing like meditation does help. Sometimes you need that hypnosis, right? That hypnotherapy in order to go into a really deep state, which is basically a moderator that walks you through, you going as deep as you need to in order to relax, right? You have complete control the entire time. You come out whenever you want. The things that you are meant to remember, you will remember. The things that you are meant to release, you will release. The things that you are meant to like grab from these lifetimes, are wisdom and knowledge to bring with you, to bring back with you here and to utilize it in this lifetime. So, there's also that aspect as well. I'm trying to think if I'm sure I've missed
Well, I
something.
was just going to say, so many people get caught up. We were talking about this earlier before we started the podcast, on how so many people get caught up on just the word hypnosis, and
Ah,
they become very fearful of even, going through the process.
yeah. So basically hypnosis is just a deep state of meditation. So I know like people could like think hypnosis is, like when, back in the day they used to like put the thing in the front of you and do that it's not that. Hypnosis is literally just a deep state of meditation. So you can meditate at home, and that's great, and maybe you could do past life regression on yourself, because I certainly can. But again, and I've said this in previous episodes, it's also great for somebody else to moderate me through, because, it's just easier when you have a moderator, like moving you on from step to step. So if you do get stuck in a past life, or you can't figure out why you're there, that's why the moderator comes in and kind of just, moves you along on your journey. And you could go into many lifetimes, actually. There's like no limit to how many you could visit in just one hypnosis session. And again, hypnosis is just a deep state of meditation where you have control the entire time. All the proctor is doing, which would be, like I'm a proctor, Christy's a proctor, whoever you go to is the proctor. All we are doing is walking you through that hypnosis, like walking you through, okay, so this is where you get off. Do you see anything? What do you see? All we're doing is basically asking the questions, and it's all, for your knowledge, for your wisdom, for your gain, whether it's to release or to, attain and use that knowledge. So yes, so kind of just they should probably call it something else besides hypnosis now that I think about it, because
Yeah, like
word
I think
like
going just like I always say to my clients, a deep meditative state, because
yeah.
everyone gets so hooked on hypnosis, like you said. Everyone's always thinking like, oh, you're standing there with like a clock in front of my head, and you're going to make me cluck like a chicken or
Yeah, you're gonna
what,
make
because
me
that's
cluck like a
what,
chicken or bark like a dog or
right.
something. Oh, I think we can have the implements to do that. That's not what we're doing.
But that, I mean, that's exactly where people's mind go. That's why I always say, I know personally with my clients, I always say, well, we need to at least have met 4 times in order to do the past life regression, only because you need to feel comfortable and trust me enough that I could take you to this deep meditation state without you being fearful of letting yourself go there. So
Yeah.
I always suggest that.
I also suggest doing any meditations, like to acclimate yourself to a meditation so you know what, like what to expect. Um Again, like even when I went in, like I didn't, even though I could do it to myself, I didn't really realize what it entails in a session until like I had one done to me, right? So I had no idea. So, and I thought like, oh my God, my body's not going to be relaxed. I'm going to wig out. I'm going to whatever, whatever, because I literally thought like I was going under hypnosis. It's not. It's just literally a guided meditation.
Meditation.
Yeah, for your entire body to relax and basically, awaken your subconscious. Like talk to your subconscious is what I was trying to say. I was trying to use another method flow there, but it didn't come out. So let's go with that. So basically it's just, being able to acknowledge and speak to your subconscious, while you are in that state. That's it. So first of all, and if you're skeptical about the word hypnosis, that's on a whole other level because then that means that somewhere along the lines of any journey that you've been on, the word hypnosis kind of triggered you somewhere, and that's triggering too. That's a whole other story. I'll get to that.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, well, but it's so true. So many people that are afraid of hypnosis most likely are afraid of losing control of their body, which
Totally.
has to either do with some type of trauma in this lifetime or past lifetime. So
Mhm.
you can kind of think about that as well. Why can't I let go of my body? Why can't I trust? And that's one good reason. And I know for me, that was the hardest thing to do is to let go. And I went into my first session as well. When I had it done, I was thinking to myself, well, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this, but I want to try it because I'm evolving spiritually and I like to clear out some of the stuff that's hindering me back. And when I went in, I was like, I don't think it's going to work. And I was completely wrong and I was completely floored. And the best part about it is, I know for everybody, this is not the process, but I was actually able to recall my whole session. I remembered everything that I said, the lifetime I went back to, every detail about it. I'm able to recall, even though I was in a deep meditative state. I know that doesn't happen for everybody. And that's why a lot of times when we are in session, we will record the session if the client wants it. This way they can go back and listen to their session.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I for one remembered everything as well, but yes, they are recorded, and that's the good thing because you can go back and listen and to see even how your body reacted during certain things that you were either you know um I would say instructed to release and to let go. I just want to touch on the letting go of the control factor and how it stems from, yes, past lives. It also stems from this lifetime. What's passed down to you from generation to generation, as well as the entire collective. I guess karma. It's not even karma. It's devastation that we've all been through from all this like reprogramming of the societal beliefs into like a very negative factor, and that's where you guys and everyone in general is having the letting go of control situation, being able to let go and to flow because you're so not used to being able to just be in your full power and just letting everything letting the universe and your contract roll out in front of you and you kind of like roll with that, where we were made to believe that there are no soul contracts. We were made to believe that we kind of just we were here and created here, which we weren't. I mean, if you want to say that we're created here, yeah, like we were born here, but like not really at the same time. But yes, like we have lifetimes here on Earth. But like, we come in and we have all of these, things coming at us, even, like again, I'm gonna repeat this and reiterate this as much as possible. We have things that fall down from ancestral, right? Or all, like the DNA that we have, right? So we have that going on. We have all past lives coming in, and the things that we have to let go that we didn't let go from there. And then we have the collective. So like us as a whole and everything that we've gone through for hundreds and hundreds of years, right? Also that falls on us. And we all, the whole process of a lifetime is to be able to control that, to release all of that and come into, your true self, your one self, and own that power, and, step into your trueness and really like, let life flow for you instead of forcing and pushing the life, to like, you flowing with it versus it flowing for you. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
it
Yeah.
makes complete sense. And the
Well, to
first step,
you.
see, well, no, because going back to last week's podcast, the first way to really evolve is to let go of the control. Until you can let go of the control, you can't evolve. So that
Right.
kind of goes back to what we were talking about. Um, Going back to the past life regression process, I know my suggestion would be to do it with a practitioner. That would be my suggestion. But if you can't do it with a practitioner, then there are some great past life regression meditations out there. Nicole, do you have any on your website?
No, I
Okay.
don't. I
I
think they're
don't, yeah, I don't personally know of anybody that has one out there, but um, one way to do, I just want to talk about one technique, because if you can't go to see a practitioner, a great technique in order to train your mind to get ready for the meditation is this theory that every morning when you wake up, what you need to do is recall everything that you did from the day before. And you need to do this for about a week. And then once you can recall everything that you did the day before, then go back and do one day prior. And then train your mind to do what you did one day prior for another week until maybe you're about 2 or 3 weeks in and you're ready to actually sit down and do a past life regression meditation, because you are now training your subconscious mind to recall things that have happened in the past. And that's one way to open up this compartment of the subconscious mind to release a past life and not feel like you can't get to that point, because everything is about retraining the mind. So you have to remember, you're not just going to be able to sit down. I mean, if you're evolved on this journey, yes, you could sit down and do the meditation. But if you're not evolved on this journey, then training your mind and getting it ready to do the meditation is the best thing that you can do, so that you can actually recall your past life. And when I do my own meditation, what I like to do is I do set a recorder, and then I actually like to narrate my own story. So I'll do the meditation, and as I'm arriving to my location and I step out, I start to narrate the story out loud, so that when I can finish the meditation, I actually can go back and recall the past life regression that I did to myself.
um I want to bounce off of that when you said, like do I have any meditations about that? I'm trying to think if I've ever actually come across like a meditation that takes you full blown into your past life. What I would suggest is reaching out to your guides. So that I do have a meditation for, I think, the reaching out to your spirit guides. But I mean, you could find one on YouTube, and it's basically just reaching out to your guides and asking your guides. I mean, not that you could just literally just sit there and in peace and calmness and talk to your guides anyway, and ask them to show you any past life that like whatever it is that you need to release, but you need to be in a state of receiving that. So you can't be skeptical about yourself. You cannot like be iffy on your intuition while you do that, because then when you're being shown something, you're going to be like, this isn't real, like, what the hell are you showing me? And then you're not going to be able to see like the bigger picture of what you're missing and what you're trying to gauge or whatever. But you can ask your guides to, and be specific. I can't stress this enough. You have to extremely be specific when you're asking something from your guides, from the universe, from, source. Ask to gently be shown what it is that you're missing to, move forward in this specific direction. Like if you're feeling stuck in a situation or whatever, ask them where and what past life, and it could be multiple. So, like but you have to be able to sit and receive that and be able to be like, okay, and then see what happened in that past life. And you could ask them to, help you, release that as well. Be very specific when you're reaching out to your guides, when you're reaching out to source, when you're reaching out to the divine, whatever, God, how, whatever you want, your angels, the saints. Just be as specific as possible and really hold that truth in you. So if you really want to know like what happened, like, say, you're stuck on, you just feel stuck and you're not moving forward. Like, why do I feel like I'm stuck? Like I'm claustrophobic in this situation. Ask your guides, be like, I would like to know exactly, what I could do to release this. Can you show me where, how deep it goes, how far down I have to go, and what I have to do to release this? And, and just ask for extreme guidance, extreme protection, and extreme love while doing this, and you will be granted that probably
On
within
on um on your
instantly.
website, I think a great one too, because I did it actually one of your meditations the other day,
Love
and
that.
it was the golden, is it the golden light
Oh, well,
meditation?
well, I don't know. What are you talking about? It depends on
On
what
your
you're
we-
talking about.
no, on your website, you had the golden light meditation. I was just thinking when you were talking about this, I thought that one would be a good one that you could use to, talk to your guides.
No, it would be I don't know what it's called, but it would be like meeting your spirit team or something. Although
Okay.
the golden light is amazing, and I actually used to do that every morning.
I love the golden light. I absolutely loved it. It was really good. I actually, that's how I wrote my message for today. I was listening to the golden light meditation and I really enjoyed
We're
it.
listening to the other one. Hold on. I totally froze and I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Yeah, no, the
While
one,
Nicole is while Nicole's looking for that meditation, another technique you could do to get there yourself, I like to call it the train technique as well. When you just put on meditation music, this is how I get back there.
oh,
I
and you
picture,
take the train.
yeah, take the train.
Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
actually a very good technique.
yeah. So I call it take the train, and you take the train backwards in time. So you picture yourself stepping on the train, the door closes, and then you're on the train, but you picture yourself going backwards in time. And you do this until your body feels relaxed or you feel like you're ready to get off the train. And then when the train stops, you step out of the train and then you have to look around where you are. Where am I? What does it look like? What clothing am I wearing? And then from there, you can go ahead and kind of navigate where your past life had, one of your past lives had started.
I think the train technique is actually yeah, so don't be surprised when you call on your guides and you ask them to show you a lifetime, and all of a sudden you're on a train and you or you're on a cloud and you're going backwards. Anything that you're in and or sitting on that you are going backwards in, because that is also a very I mean, that's how we do it too. We moderate you
Right.
being in something, and they will show that to you, especially if you're not as evolved. If you're evolved and you are a light worker or a channeler, or and they're going to kind of just throw you sometimes right into that, and you're just going to have to fend for yourself. But that's why why I'm here to tell you, look for these signs and what to do. Because, I get they throw me into these things constantly. And I'm like, can't, that's why I'm saying, like what specifically, be specific, like I would like it to be as nice and relaxed and calm as possible. But again, anything and everything that your guides give to you, benefits you in the long run anyway. So, take it as it is and kind of just work through it as best as you can. And when you cannot, that's when you reach out to the outside, to a person who offers guidance. I mean, I don't even know if you would call it spiritual guidance anymore. It's just, spirituality. Let's get something straight, right? And I saw this the other day and I thought it was like the best thing because it's so true. Spirituality, my kids are always after me. Oh, you believe in this? Blah, blah, blah. It's not a belief. It's not a religion. It's not a cult. It's not anything. It's legitimately, it's a frequency. So it's either you're tuned in or you're tuned out. That's it. That's what spirituality is. There's nothing else like that. That's what it is. That's you coming into wholeness. That's you coming into oneness. That's Christ consciousness. That's all of us mind shifting consciousness. That is spirituality. It is a frequency. That is all it is, people. Frequency. It's a frequency. It's not a belief. It's an actual frequency. Yeah, I just needed to like throw that out. The one you were listening to, I just looked it up. For the meditations, it's just called angel healing, and that is when you meet your guides come in and your angels come in, and you could talk to them as well. That's the one that you listened to the other day.
Oh, so I just made up the name?
No, no,
I
no, no.
just
There is golden light healing. That one,
Oh,
but
okay. Because I'm like, I swore I seen that, but maybe I just made it up.
although at this point, like things that pop into our heads just pop into our heads. I wanted to go over soul contracts, and I'm
Yes,
gonna
let's move
kind
into
of
that.
all right. I'm going to kind of give you an outline of a soul contract. So, when you're coming into your next lifetime, whether it be again, whether you think you're jumping from one to another or whatever simultaneously, whatever the case may be, you kind of sit in this room, let's say, and you have like a video screen. And I kid you not, this is the way it goes. Believe it or not. This is so anyway, so you're sitting in front of a movie screen and you have several options of several lifetimes to choose. So, you could, you see the lifetime that you're obviously the one that you chose. And there's usually like two other options, I would say, that you get to look at and you get to see the entire thing play out sometimes, and I would say even commonly, you get to see like everything play out even before you get there. So you see all the ancestors, you see how all of that comes into play. You do get to choose that. You do get to choose your body. You do get to choose your voice, your hair color, your avatar in general. You get to choose your height. Still not really sure why I chose this
Are you
height.
sure?
Tiny. I don't know, because I'm like, why would I do that unless I was like really, really tall and like wanted to know it. But anyway, but you literally choose everything. You choose your life lessons, you choose your partners, you choose, whether you're going to have children, everything, right? You choose everything. Everything is set for you when you come here. Your free will, right? When you get here and using your free will depends on how much you elevate, how much life lessons you learn, how many times you have to repeat things. If you stay stuck in repeating patterns and just never, upgrade and step into your full potential in this lifetime, that all plays into free will. What I will say is there are also all of these people that you're in the play, right, with, because you're literally just you're in your role, right? This is the role that you're playing. Other people, other participants also, have these roles and they're sometimes referred to as your soul family, right? You have your soul mates, your soul family, you have your, twin flames, divine counterparts, which we'll get to in a second. So, everybody has free will, unfortunately, right? So although you may be on the path, the people that you are contracted in to do these things with, because the earth had gotten so dense, and now we're shifting out of that, but had gotten so dense, a lot of souls have managed to stay stuck in patterning that they're not supposed to be in, or that it's taking them longer. So but your contract is still going. So now I hope I made that kind of clear. Is that okay? Because I need to like jump forward. Okay. So now it's being called upon because there have been so many people using their free will not to complete certain contracts out with people. There are alternate contracts coming in at this time, which was never really a thing until recently, which we could also break contracts as well, which we were never really able to do fully at this time. So that is also something that we could go into as well. As far as, and I'm going to stress this a lot, divine counterparts, right? You want to talk about, and again, I talk about this on every single episode, soulmates, twin flames, whatever you want to fucking call them, right? It's just you're going to, if you are evolving on this journey and you are stepping into your true self, your true power, aligning with Christ consciousness, which is literally your higher self, right? Your higher self, you will be with your divine counterpart, your earthly divine counterpart. So if you're married and in a happy marriage and your marriage is just getting deeper and deeper and deeper, that's where you're going to stay. If you're not in a great situation, whether it's marriage, relation, any type of situation, that will crumble and you will move forward. Twin flames kind of taking a back burner right now, believe it or not, because a lot of them are not fulfilling their ends of the contract. And you will be rewarded, as I would like to say, by the universe. You will be rewarded by the person, which is called a divine counterpart, who is your earthly counterpart in this lifetime. So do not get stuck up in titles. Do not get stuck up in titles. I don't know. Do not get caught up in titles.
Caught up in titles,
Yeah,
yeah.
do not get caught up in titles. Always put the power and the focus back on you. The more you are doing and living your pureness, your wholeness, your contract, what you're guided to do, what your soul is pushing you to do and urging you to do, everything will just come in. Everything will just come in, and everything will come in, and it'll be like incredible, including the sexual energy, which is also coming into a huge play and a huge factor as well, moving forward into the consciousness that we are, because again, love is the highest frequency, right? Sexual energy is basically all the energy transmuting, right? Because it's all out there. When people say sexual energy, you think all, right away sex, but it's really not. it's, Unfortunately, I mean, it's really not about sex itself. Of course, like it pertains to that, but it's more of the energy that's intertwining, and being able to control that and harness that as well. And again, frequency. It's all a frequency. But listen, if you're evolving, continue to evolve. When you feel stuck, take a moment, sit down, figure out what you need. Do you need past life regression? Do you need just more meditation? Do you need a one-on-one with someone? Do you like figure out what it is that you need to do, right? And if you need the help, go for it. Get your ego out of the way and literally just go straight and keep going. And you have to remember, you have to help yourself. You have to be there for yourself. You have to be able to heal yourself, bottom line. And that's what this whole journey is about moving forward. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great. Great explanation. Great explanation. I really did like it. It reminds me of the quote that says, the sense of self is just an illusion. Because if you really think about it, the sense of who we are in this body is really just an illusion. And we need to, move past the identity and who we perceive ourselves as in order to be able to really be able to see that life itself is just an illusion and there's so much more past where we are now. And in order to be able to really see that, we have to evolve, and the only way that we can evolve is to continue to grow ourselves. And like Nicole said, people will come in, people will go away, and people will help us grow, and the ones that help us grow will be the ones that stay on our journey. So I think it's just not getting so caught up in, who is, and I think so many people do this. Our soul contract is to ourselves, right? Our soul contract is, like Nicole was saying, to get to Christ consciousness. So many people get caught up on soul contracts and get stuck there on soul contracts because they automatically think, because this person, and it usually happens with a person, not so much a place or an object. It's usually with a person. They feel like, oh, well, this person's a part of my soul contract. So as I move through life, I have to hold on and keep this person here. But maybe they don't belong there. And the whole point is to get to the point where you start to see that that sense of people and life is just really an illusion. And in order to move forward, you've got to bring yourself there. And that is realizing that sometimes all these people, they don't belong.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've spoken about that a couple of times about, like when you grow out of people and having, leaving the space for them to catch up if they're meant to catch up. Um, yeah, I will touch on that in a second, but like so as far as like, the identity of oneself and like the illusion that we had on ourselves, I think that is where a lot of people get stuck on their spiritual journey, right? And they're in the process of awakening and they're like all good and good and good. And then they boom, smack and get, they get, first of all, stuck isn't really being stuck. It's literally just an illusion that you have of being stuck. No such thing as being stuck. But for reference, we'll use the word stuck. So again, when you are when you are awakening and you come to the realization that, oh my God, the person that's in front of you that you see in the mirror is not really the person that you're meant to be. A lot of people get really stuck in fear, right? Let their ego take over. And although they were doing so good, right? You're so good. You were growing, you were starting to grow, you were starting to awaken, you were starting to evolve. You can't face the fact that the person that you've been putting out there into the world is not who you truly are. And for, reasons unknown to, every person has their own philosophy of why they are stuck in that. But some people get so caught up in that and they cannot face the fact that they have to take down the mask, take down the veil, literally go inside and rebuild themselves and show the world who they truly are and literally leave that version of them behind. And that's sad because that is, being stuck, and that is watching someone who has so much potential just stay in that situation, and again, like as just humans and, being that we're all connected, we can always, reach out and want to like help that person, obviously, especially if you're an empath, especially if you're a healer, on that aspect, and like try to like guide them up and push them out of that stuckness. But free will, baby. Free will's a bitch. And free will keep you there. And free will, like that person will be like, oh my God, and then have come to the realization, right? And then come to another step where they have to like take down even more veils and more
Right.
masks and get stuck there and then, kind of go all the way back and downward spiral. It happens, there's a huge split. And I know I spoke about this I think before Christmas, and then I definitely spoke about this on the New Year's episode. There's a huge split
Right.
happening right now, and it's people that are going to stay, where they are, and it's people that are going to evolve into, their true power, their true self. So I did want to really reiterate that. As far as, holding on to things, it could be a job. Listen, it could be a car that you like really love, but it's time to get a new one, and you for some reason are holding on tight to that. You have to learn how to let go. You have to let go of people, places, things. I wholeheartedly believe that as humans, letting go of people is the one of the most hardest things to do because you have human emotions and you're attached and all of
Mhm.
this. Again, that's also when you're forming these contracts here, you're forming earthly contracts, and because you're putting yourself in these situations, so you have to be able to break those contracts as well, and those are cutting cords and doing all of that stuff in order to move forward. But again, you're letting go of things that just do not align with you anymore, right? So you're not like letting go forever, right? Although in some cases you may be, but you're always sending that person, that situation, that even that t-shirt that you won't let go of, be like, send it love and then like let it go because it's time to like give it away or just throw it out in general. But you're what you're doing is you're literally sending love, but you're keeping the space, right? You're not counting on them. There's no expectations, but you're keeping the space for them to heal, to literally, show the world and themselves that they can step into their potential, their highest potential. And when they do, they will come and meet you where you are on your highest timeline. You cannot hold yourself back. It's not fair to you. It's not scripted. You have your path, you have your journey. And again, some people just come in to trigger us on certain points, right? So it triggers us to go deeper within. It triggers us to be like, oh my God. And it can awaken us to something that we left dormant on a positive note. There's so many reasons why people come in and interact with us on a daily basis. But you have to remember that it is about you. You only you, and focus on you and the growth. And when it is real and someone comes in for real, you will know. Your entire body will know. Your soul will know. You will feel it. You will completely, the both of you will completely let down everything and be extremely vulnerable and be wholeheartedly into your situation if that's the case, whether it be, romantic, platonic, any type of relationship. You'll either be the most amazing, a brotherly, sisterly love there, on a platonic level, or business partners, or whatever it is that you're meant to be, or if it is to be, in a romantic connection. But there really is, we're kind of lacking the boyfriend girlfriend thing these days. It's literally, it's going to be an entire new uplifting, it's going to be more than that. It's going to be deeper than that. And if you're in that dynamic where it feels like a boyfriend girlfriend and it's not going anywhere, it's not going to go anywhere, and it's going to crumble and it's going to fall, and you have to let it go, and you have to move forward. So that's I touched on earthly contracts.
Yes, but that doesn't, that to the listener, doesn't that sound so amazing to be able to get to that point, to evolve to that point where you do have all of these dreams come true? Well, the only way to get there is to let the rest of the stuff fall away. You can't get caught up, like Nicole was talking about, on the earthly contracts. When you get caught up on earthly contracts, people, places, objects, this is when we lose sight of what the future can bring. And this is where we get stuck halfway to healing, I like to call it, in free
Oh,
will. And so
wait,
many
I'm
people
gonna
do.
jump in. Hold on. Expectations and disappointment is also when this happens, right?
Yes.
Get tons of disappointment from that person, from that situation, from that job, from anything. Okay, go ahead, go. I'm sorry. You could continue.
Yeah, exactly. And you feel it, you could feel it all. And it's like, it's when everything's supposed to crumble, but you hold on to it so tightly and don't allow it to crumble. That's free will. That's what Nicole is talking about. That's free will, when you choose to stay in a situation and not evolve. If you were to let go and let it crumble, then all of those amazing things Nicole talked about, they're on the other side of that. But you have to choose to walk that path. And that's why, going back to work, I don't really do angel readings anymore, because there's, when I see people, I see people on two paths, right? It's the path of what could be if you follow and evolve, and it is the path of free will. And so when I do an angel reading, I'm automatically going to give you, the angel wants you to evolve. So I am going to give you that reading. And then it becomes this matter of free will and things people don't want to hear. And and it's so true. And that's why I call that halfway to healing, because I feel like everybody wants that information when they're halfway to healing. And when they hear, the positive, they automatically just want to run to the negative. So that's why I don't do them anymore, because I feel like they only want to hear what they want to hear. And sometimes I do feel if you're not ready and you're not evolved, then that reading can actually hinder your growth process.
Well, absolutely, because not only that, then you have to do the work in order to get there. And people are like, yeah, I don't want to do that. And you're expecting it to just come to you. You have to work on yourself. You have to be that person that attracts that in, right? So you have to be that make of a person, right? That what is the word I'm looking for? That model, that make model of the person. You have to come into that person who is aligned with that situation, but it'll come in, right? But you have to do the work. It's always self-work. It's always, well, self-work. Yeah, it is always about empowerment, improvement, evolvement, bettering yourself. And again, I will stress this every single episode. We are humans. We will not ever be perfect in a human body, right? That's why we're always evolving, always doing better for ourselves, no one else, but for ourselves. And you guys have to remember that self-love is like so mandatory. It's unconditional love for yourself. You cannot love anybody else until you fully embrace and love who you truly are. So also keep that in mind. But yeah, it's funny, the halfway to healing is a funny metaphor. Actually, it's better than being stuck because it is halfway to healing, and then you're just
Yes.
like, I'm gonna go the other way, and I'm not gonna go that way. Even though
I'm
like I
gonna
could
drop
see
off.
a gorgeous life, I'm just gonna kind of sit here because I don't really believe that it's real, and that's what
Right.
happened.
And that had happened to me on my journey. I'm not gonna sit here and
Oh God,
act
it's
like,
happened to me too. I
I
can't.
haven't
I'm
gotten
not
knocked
gonna.
off my path, halfway to healing, because then I would be a liar. And it's, I mean, I would say the majority of people halfway to healing do get knocked off their path multiple times.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I mean, because our ego wants to slide in and get in the way, or we just, say, oh, it's just too much work, and I don't have time for all this work, and I think I'm okay. I'm good the way I am, and
Well, that's
then
the whole point of the lesson
right.
because you have to be able to hold your own power. So the universe is just going to keep hitting you with those options, right? Of like you falling behind or you staying stuck until you own up to your own power. And again, many people just stay there and don't own up to their own power, and you have to love and appreciate them and for who they are, and be completely grateful for the lessons that they did teach you, and you have to move on. But yeah, I mean, I'm with you. And how many times did I get stuck until like I really realized, oh shit, we have that's like part of the lesson, and we have to like maintain and step into our full power. So yeah, it's real deal. It's a real deal.
It really is. And the more you evolve, everyone's like, oh, it gets easier and easier. But the raw truth of it is, the more you evolve, sometimes the harder it kind of gets, because the universe or your angel team and everybody, they throw so much on you. And the reason why they do that is because we're put on this earth to help others evolve. And the only way to help others evolve is to have gone through a plethora of, issues or
Joys of being
illnesses,
light
or
workers and healers. Yes.
right.
Oh, the
Because you
joy.
can't heal unless you've been in
Every
somewhat
single
of someone's
situation.
situation.
Ah,
So
it's lovely.
that's the raw truth of it all. But it does get easier. And I think the more you evolve, the more you're like, oh, okay, here we go. This is happening for me, but I know it's for a greater good. And you
Right.
you actually can do that. You know,
Yeah,
no
you're like,
matter
okay,
what
it's time
situation
to
you're
jump on the
in.
roller coaster again. Here I go, and do it
Yes.
willingly and with a smile on your face. Don't take everything so seriously. Life, I get that you have like it can come across as serious. You have to just relax and be and like live in the moment, right? You cannot take everything seriously. If you start to take things seriously, you're always going to be tense. You're never going to be able to open up. You're never going to be able to put your walls down. You're never going to be able to move forward. Guarantee you that. But it's funny, you said something else too, as far as like, oh, just listen, in
Mm.
general, healers and light workers go through a ton of shit. And I say this all the time that you guys would never fully understand or comprehend that we go through in order to like clear the way, to lead the way, to help you, like come into yourselves. Everyone has a healing ability. So when the collective is just like everyone, on earth, the earth plane right now, right? Just it's just different levels of where everybody is awakening or whatever, however you want to phrase it. Trying to make it like an easier definition, but whatever. So by you awakening and stepping into your power, it trickles down. It's the ripple effect, the trickle effect, whatever you want to call it, a butterfly effect. It helps. So every person awakening is helping to mirror somebody else. Well, it's the, the feminines mirror the divine masculines. So when the feminines evolve, the masculines will wake up and they will, jump ahead too. I love my masculines. I will always say that. Again, I love the feminine stepping into your power, right? Remembering who you are, but like it's the masculines, like the masculines awakening and remember who they are, and being that like brick for us is great, and I love watching that. So again, you're also mirroring, not only are the feminines mirroring the masculines are mirroring the feminines, and you're mirroring the collective below you, right? So, and I say that below you, but beneath you, it's just the ones that haven't awakened fully yet, right? So
Yeah, it's not like
masculine,
saying anyone's below
right,
you.
exactly. I'm just
It's just, yeah, it's
consciousness
just like the
level
consciousness
of
trickles
everybody.
down. So it's not like Nicole saying, "Oh, I'm above you," but the more evolved you are, the higher you are evolved, and that trickles down.
Yes. So yeah, so all you're doing is basically you're awakening, he's awakening, and then it trickles down, trickles down, trickles down, trickles down, trickles down, trickles down. And then, before you know it, everybody's awakened and on. Well, not everybody. Some people will choose that other path, but that's basically how it is. So don't think like, your healing isn't affecting anything, because I mean, you could heal the simplest thing. Like you could like start to love yourself, and then that will literally trickle down into the collective. So you're doing it for you, but you're also helping humanity grow at the same time, which is really it's a big thing, and I don't really think that we comprehend that. I
No, as healers, we don't comprehend that. And even sharing, people always say to me, well, I really want to know what my life purpose is. Well, sometimes your life purpose is just sharing your story with other
Yeah,
people. I
absolutely.
think people can't grasp that, but there's been people who've shared stories with me, and those stories have resonated with me throughout my life and have actually helped me change and reevaluate my own life. So many people say that, well, I don't, what's my purpose? Well, your purpose can be simply just sharing your story with other people.
Your purpose could literally just be being awake on earth and magnetizing that light.
Right. Without even saying a word.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Just being and just being in your true self, and walking in your divinity. And that is going to, like change the frequency around you, move the energy, circulate the energy. And that could just be your purpose. Your purpose could be extremely simple. Believe it or not. I envy those people. No, I'm kidding.
Me too.
I love my journey. I'm so happy. I'm thrilled. I love every moment of it, before while going through it. But like now, but you'll learn to love, your cause, your purpose, and you will feel what your purpose eventually is, right? Just, like you could ask, you could ask, you could ask, but you'll feel it inside when you do all the work on yourself. So if you're still not feeling it and you're still guessing, there's still work to do on yourself. So just always just keep loving on yourself. Love, 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 love,
Yes.
and let go. Love and let go.
That's all we could do. That is all we could do, is love on ourselves and know that our journey is sacred to us. And don't let people, take us off our paths. Don't let other people's words ruin, where you're going. Because believe me, in spirituality, there's always going to be people that don't agree with your work. But you have to know that your work is for greater good. And even though some people might not believe that, that doesn't mean that it's not true. We have to follow our heart. We have to know in our heart space that what we're doing is bringing peace to the world and helping people cope. And if that doesn't look a certain way to other people, that's not our problem. That is not our problem. Because
Yeah.
I
Well,
do feel that that has been a couple of things that have definitely knocked me off of my path, is worrying so much about what people thought of me and my work, not seeing the truth behind it because they are closed minded and don't want to see that. Because I always say spiritual people have lived through, I will say it. most spiritual people have lived through hell, right? Has lived through some type of hell on earth. But people who practice, practice, spirituality, really they just only know what somebody else has told them. So always remember that.
Ooh, that's a good one. So basically, yeah, let's break that down again because I really want people to understand that, right? There are
Yeah,
people
because I know it was kind of like
who live your
scratching.
journey, right? You live on the frequency of spirituality, right? You live in your truth, you're evolving into in your power, so you are on that intense spiritual journey. And then there are people who use that to their advantage, right? Use the word spirituality to their advantage and kind of just fake it along the way and use the stories that people tell them and use that as, a spirituality guide and think that they're living that life. Is that more of like I mean, that's
Yeah, it's definitely what, an explanation of the way I'm trying to say. I just think that in order to, really be spiritual and really evolve, you have to have events in your life that get you there. So that's why they say most spiritual, people walking the path have lived through very traumatic things. But people that, come to this earth and maybe haven't lived through more traumatic things and they follow one scope of being spiritual, then they don't see the full picture of everything that could be.
right. So here's my take on that, right? So and I lost it. That's it. Here's my take, and I had a really good one, and it's completely gone. That's the energy for you for today. Oh, and we could talk about that in a second too, the energy. But everything is going to be a little bit of a dark traumatic situation, right? When you're stepping to yourself. Like even if you don't have that many life lessons to learn, even if you don't have any that many veils to take down, that many masks to take down, illusions to take down, just you stepping into a different version of you could be very, could be like a massive chaos, would look like a massive chaos for you. And that would be like your hell on earth. So it does look different for everybody. So you have to keep that in mind. Not everybody is going to have, the same spiritual journey, obviously, but we're all here to assist, like each other in the awakening process. There was something else that I was being triggered to say, and I lost it. But I don't know. Like basically, there's a lot of shifting happening. Like I've explained that, for 2025, shifting major shifting coming in March. So you are like a lot of people are being really called to kind of just like jump in and take action and like move on to what they're supposed to be doing in life. Kind of go with the flow. March is going to be, as I said, as me and Christy have been saying, January is going to be interesting. February is going to be interesting. March is going to be magnetize that, I want to say, in interesting. I want to say April and May will be more of a coming into oneself as far as believing everything that you've gone through, believing like where you are and like just absorbing all of it would be more of April, May, I want to say, but March is going to be really impactful, positive note. So keep your heads up for March because and we have the new moon to tomorrow. If you're on the East Coast, it actually starts, I think, like right after midnight, like very early. So it's kind of like the 27th versus the 28th. But we have the new moon kind of wrapping that, like everything, that we kind of need to release and step into, all wrap into that little bubble. And then leading into March, which is like crazy insane on an astrological level, but really good for humanity and evolving. So if you guys feel stuck, please reach out because this would be the moment where you could take off And it's not going to be like, you're not going to sit in darkness so long. You're going to have to deal with it and face your darkness and overcome that, but you're not going to be sitting in it as long as one would have been a year ago. It's going to be, very fast transformations going on. So if you feel stuck, please reach out to somebody. Please reach out, use your discernment, use your intuition, and kind of just go and do what you have to do in order to move forward, because it's going to be a big moving forward. So yeah, that all of that just spilled right out of my mouth. So
Yeah, I agree with you, Nicole. March is going to be a little bit of a ride. A lot is going to be coming to the surface in March,
yeah,
and there's
exciting.
going to be a lot of information. I like to say information kind of swirling around us, and we need to take our own discernment on situations. And then come April, I think there's going to be something's going to become very clear on the earthly plane, and that's going to help us kind of move forward into calmer waters. Because I mean, right now, as we know, there's just so much going on. There's so much going on. So there's a lot of stuff coming to light. And I do feel, and we talked about this prior, both of us, I do feel by April something big is going to be, to come into focus.
Eventually it'll calm down. I mean, it also depends on where you are, on your awakening process too. Like, people that have been awake for a while and attained to that specific level, we get to ride the waves, and we get to watch you guys, like kind of maintain your what is it, your swimming level, what, like, your head above water,
Right.
while doing that. And that's what we're here for. We're here to help, like, not save you, because you have to save yourself, but like we're here to like walk you through it, and like let you know where you are, and so how to shift in a proper way. Again, you could also find that information, when you look inside you, but sometimes it's easier to reach out, to a source that can then help you initiate that process. But yeah, lots of change, guys, and it will eventually, but there's a lot of things that have to crumble, worldly, ancestral, like just societal, just there's so many belief systems, veils, illusions, that are going to come crumbling down. And I say that with like a big smile on my face, because I am absolutely enjoying this. I've seen this like for years, and like especially like so impacted the last couple of months. So like I'm so excited to actually see this come to fruition. So I'm here for you. Obviously, Christy's here for you. There's so many people that'll be, here for you, but we're going to continue to bring you this wild update and to keep you focused on yourself, throughout the process. So, yeah.
Yes, I
While
agree. And I
keeping it
think
extremely raw and true.
the theme for the month of March is stay grounded. So
Ah,
continue to keep yourself grounded, stay grounded. And I think if you follow that theme into March, and I'm wearing green, how funny, for the month for the month of March, but just continue to
it's
stay
excellent.
grounded. And like Nicole said, if you come across anything that you need, a little bit of guidance, we are here to help you out.
Yeah.
So I think with that said, I think we pretty much touched base on everything for this episode.
Yeah. Wrap it up. And yeah. So happy March, guys. We'll see you in March.
Yes, we'll see you in March. And thanks for joining us on the Raw Uncovered Truth of the Awakened Soul. And we'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.